Pokemon GO Fest is coming to Sendai, so what are things that you can do if you're coming to visit? Now, I'm no professional in the Sendai Miyagi region. I've been there twice, maybe 3 times in my life. But even though I've only been there a few times, I do know a few special locations that you can check out from my visits when I was looking for some Pokelids over there. Now, the park itself is not in Sendai City. It's a little out in the outskirts, a little further away. But that shouldn't deter you from going to Sendai City, especially for outside of park play. Why do you go to Sendai City? Well, Sendai City has a lot of areas where you can just walk around, and I think I saw a straight road that you can go from one section where the Pokelid actually is located all the way to a huge park. And I believe that's a good route to take when you're playing your outside of the park situations or your additional days. Another thing that you can do when you're in Sendai is find the Pokemon Center. The Pokemon Center is in Sendai City itself. It's Pokemon Center Tohoku. Look it up in Google. You'll find it easily located right in the center. And you're gonna have to go up the stairs. It was my least ranked Pokemon Center in all of Japan. But that was because of the day that I went. It was super crowded. I couldn't find anything. Just not ideal. I think it was a Sunday. So I'm gonna go back there actually again and see if it improves. And maybe I can raise it in the ranks. My suggestion to you guys also is check it out because it's a local Pokemon Center. It's nearby and it might have some special things there. Another thing that you can do when you're in Sendai is if you have a car or if you have a lot of extra days, maybe you can also go to Iwate, the prefecture above it, which is my favorite prefecture in all of Japan because of its nature, its beauty, the fact that it's a city, but not crowded city. But immediately when you walk outside the city, you can see it turn from buildings and restaurants into nature and wildlife and trees and mountains, snow, rocks, especially rocks because Iwate is famous for rocks. It's absolutely a great contrast between nature and city. It's probably a perfect combination actually. Love it. It's right above Miyagi. Not too difficult to get to if you have the rail pass or Shinkansen, just go directly up. Shouldn't be a problem. And there's lids there that you can go and enjoy. Another thing that you should do when you're in Sendai is check out the Pokelid. The Pokelid in Sendai City is very, very easy to get to, especially if you're going to be playing Pokemon GO Fest. It's literally maybe a couple blocks from the Pokemon Center. It's in the Shotengai. It's in a location where there's a lot of little restaurants and fun activities to do. So, a good location to take your Pokemon Go app, spin Pokestops, and get gifts for, that Pokelid. Now, because Miyagi has 35 Pokelids, there are other Pokelids you can check out. There are 6 Pokelids fairly close to the Sendai Pokelid. Only 4 of those 6 are actually under an hour travel by train. These are the 4 that I would recommend you try and go to if you want to find additional Pokelid. All right, the first location I'm going to suggest to you is the Plussolid. The Plussolid is 42 minutes away from Sendai Station to Hon Shiogama Station. Now, right around the station, it's a short walk, and you're gonna find the Plussolid nearby in the middle of a whole lot of shops around you. These shops, actually, from what I've been told, because I didn't go inside, but they have Pokelid merch from all over Miyagi. So you can find Lapras items, Lapras food items, as well as potentially some postcards, keychains, etc. So it's definitely a location you do want to check out if you're so keen to find some Pokelid merch. The second location that I would suggest you go to, this lid right here, the Minum lid in Rifu, which is also about 49 minutes away from Sendai. Now, if you're gonna go from one to the other, so if you're gonna go from Honshiogama to Rifu, Plussolid to the Minum lid, maybe it's a different time period, but I'm just basing this all off of going from Sendai. So from Sendai, it's gonna take you 49 minutes to find this lid. And in this area, I remember going here and I found a bunch of pears, a pear orchard. It was beautiful, it tasted wonderful. Absolutely do recommend if you do go there, find a pear orchard. Just type in pear orchard in Google. I think you'll be able to find it no problem. With that being said, I think that these lids, you sort of should pick 1 or 2 to go to because they're all about under an hour away from Sendai. And I don't necessarily know how they connect via each other. So if you wanted to find them all, you're gonna have to do a little bit of research on your own. But for the most part, if you want to pick one or two, then this information should be helpful for you. The third one is the Takajo Poke Lid with Horsey on it. And that one's not too bad of a way to get. It's 36 minutes from Sendai, directly on one train, the Senseki line. You take that all the way to Takajo Station. And right at Takajo Station, you just get off, it's at the station. It took me a while to find it because, well, I don't know. I guess I like to search all around the station, so I couldn't quite find it. And I was in a hurry. I don't know if there's anything around the area because I just was more of a stop, go, get it, and left. But I potentially could see how some of the shops inside the station could have some merch. So do check that out if you want to find this Horsey lid. Now, the fourth and final lid that I do suggest that you can find is the Matsushima lid. And this one I highly recommend you go find, because if you want to experience Miyagi, I think this is a good location, because you're gonna find the lid, the Lapras lid over here, beautiful lid. You're gonna find beautiful Japanese architecture like these red bridges, which look absolutely amazing by the water. So you're by a port actually. And there's fresh fish, absolutely famous for fish in this area, tuna especially. So if you're gonna go here, eat some tuna. There's a fish market nearby, and I believe there's a temple as well. So it's sort of like checks off a lot of those boxes for items that you can do in Japan, all in this area. And it's pretty cool because in Matsushima, you also can take beautiful photos of the water with the bridge. And it sort of simulates the same imagery that was on the lid as well. So you can find all these things in this one area. So definitely one that I recommend. It takes 56 minutes on the Senseki line, the same line that you would take to find the Takajo, the Horsey lid. You just keep going further. It's the furthest one, but it's still only 56 minutes away on that train ride. There's two others that are nearby, but they are not near train stations, so it makes them more difficult. They're under an hour if you're driving to them, but I assume many of you are not. But I'm still gonna mention them anyways, and that's these lids right here. You have this Ditto lid, which is over by the ocean. I absolutely love this location actually. It had great food. It had this shop right here, which had merch. So definitely guaranteed, I'm pretty sure if they still exist, that the merch will be inside of this shop. But it is a 48-minute drive from Sendai over, and there is no suggested train line, at least on Google Maps, from Sendai to this location here. So it's going to be a little difficult to get to, but if you do rent a car, not a problem. It's a 4-hour and 51-minute walk if that's something you do choose to do, but I don't think any of you would do that. The other location and the final one is the lid in Natari, which is about 1 hour and 16 minutes by train, 27 minutes by car. It's very close to the airport. Ironically enough, in order to get there, you have to take a train to the airport and then take a train to the lid. So it's sort of backwards if you're using that airport, but at the same time, I guess it's in that area. But it's in the middle of, I would say, nowhere, because they're rebuilding that whole area. Huge park, a dog park, a mini shrine in the middle of nowhere, and then a vast emptiness. At least last time I went there. Maybe they're rebuilding because of course, because the earthquake and everything that occurred there, the tsunami. It's a big rebuilding location. So it's a lot of open fields back when I visited. So I'm not entirely sure if it's one that I would recommend you go to if you want to do other additional things. My top recommendation is to find the Matsushima lid, or you can also look for the Plusominum lid. That too probably are near each other actually, and should be an easy combination of lids there. So yeah, those are my recommendations for the Poke lids. Hopefully that is good. And let's move on to food. Final thing I can suggest you to do is eat the local specialty food, which in this situation, Miyagi is famous for gyutan, which is not a favorite of mine, but I still have to tell you all about it because, well, they're famous for it, and I would be remiss to not let you guys know all about it. So gyutan is, gyu is beef, and tan is tongue. So beef tongue, sliced very thin. It tastes very good to a lot of people. People love the taste. You can see it many restaurants with rice and gyutan, or gyutan with the grill. So you can have like barbecue type of stuff. Either way, it's very famous. You should probably get it. You can have shio, so salt flavor. You can also have tare, so like sauce flavor on top. Personally, I don't like it because I tried it, and when I ate it, I tasted tongue, and I was like, I don't like the feeling of eating tongue and tasting tongue. So I'm a no, but I think you guys should definitely try it out at least once, especially if you're in the Sendai area, because, well, it's famous here. Oh, and the final thing I think you guys should do is find me wherever I am. Try to follow my Twitter. I'm gonna have these little Pokélid stickers, and if you find me, I will give you one. I'll try to give hints on where I will be each day. If you find me, say hi. I might be recording a video, but you know, just stop me, say hi, and then I will hand out a sticker. If you're subscribed, sticker is given. If you're not subscribed, I mean, a sticker will still be given. Either way, it's okay. Other than that, there are a lot of other locations that I really enjoyed in Miyagi, like the Fox Village, Zao Mountain. There's a hike nearby where there's a Latios lid. So there's a lot of different things you can do in Miyagi, but it's a huge prefecture, so it's very spread out. And I assume everyone in Sendai has a very minimal amount of time that they're there. So Matsushima is like my highest suggestion to you guys. If you can make it, go to Fox Village. It was really cool. Even though the fox bit me, still an experience in itself. You get to walk amongst live foxes, and literally they're not locked up. So you are basically put into a cage, well, not a cage, an area where they are basically roaming around, and you are the individual that essentially are locked up with them, not the other way around. Anyways, those are the things you should be doing out in Miyagi. If I think of anything else, I might add some after this part of the video.